If you're somebody who is experiencing clutter in their life right now, whether in their mental space, physical space, or emotional state, or life in general feels like there's a lot of clutter at the moment, listen to this message because there's definitely something in for you. I recently went through something really chaotic, and there was a lot of mental and emotional clutter around me and inside of me. As I always do, I wanted to go deeper into it to understand the presence of it because I was noticing its presence since last November. Sometimes when you look at clutter, you want to ignore it and you just want to look away from it. So I guess that's what I did. Although I was moving through it, but I was not paying full attention. So I decided that I'm going to go deeper into my spiritual practice that I usually do. I combine embodiment and guidance from the Kashik records. And what came through was really, really interesting. And that's why I want to share it here. Now, before we move into the understanding that came through, the wisdom that spoke through the energy of clutter in my practice, let's imagine this. Your room has become absolutely messy because you couldn't take care of it. Now, one fine day, you feel like I want to go home and just rest and I want a nice, peaceful, clean space. But when you go into your house, like when you enter your house, you enter the room and you realize that, oh my God, I've been so lost in life that I haven't taken care of anything. Now everything looks so messy. What should I do? In this situation, I might think that the first response might be like, I just want to chill and I want to run away from the situation. Maybe I'll deal with it later. Or I would think that I need someone else's help. And sometimes, the mess is so heavy to look at that you just want to shut down, or you keep living in the same situation and keep delaying cleaning it up because again you want to avoid looking into it and you want an easy solution, basically an easy way out. I want to give you an example. So it's like TMI, too much information, I guess. I went to my parents' house in November and there were spaces and places where the stuff was triggering me because it was a lot. And there were things that they don't use anymore, but they're not letting go of those things. And there was stuff that was, I guess, bought for no reason. Or maybe somebody gifted them something which is of no use and still the stuff is lying there. And I experienced a lot of, little bit of, I would say, irritation by being in a space like that. And the problem was that when I questioned my parents that let's sort this out, should we do something? They said, no, we don't know when we will need these things, or no, we don't want to let these things go. So anyways, that's what they want. But yeah, I was only noticing that something was triggering me. And when I came back, I felt the presence of that energy was there. I mean, it was not so much about the physical clutter, but something that was asking me to look within. Now let's zoom out for a bit. Isn't this exactly how we deal with emotions, memories, and thoughts that goes within us? When things feel cluttered, when relationships feel messy, and when our minds are overwhelmed, it all makes us feel like we are stuck, right? And then we either try to avoid it completely, like sorting out the situation, or we try to get rid of everything all at once without really understanding what's actually there. But as with everything else in the world, in our life, everything has a meaning. So does the clutter has a wisdom to tell us. And that's what I decided, that I'm going to move into this energy. I'm going to understand clutter once and for all so that I start managing my life better and also help my clients do the same. So I decided I'm not going to look away. And I'm also not going to ignore the fact that I was getting triggered at my parents' house. And they're not triggered at all. They are living an amazing life and they're happy with everything that is around them. It was me who was getting triggered. And hence I decided, let me just sit and meditate on it, move through it through embodiment, open the Akasha and receive the messages. Now, as I was working in my practice, I received 3 very interesting and powerful realization, which explained the meaning of clutter and the wisdom that wants to speak through it. Usually in our life, whenever we are feeling. So the message that came through was in the realization that I was receiving that clutter has 3 aspects to show you. The first one is the things that have served its purpose and we are ready to release from our reality. So for example, you are cleaning your closet and you find clothes that you know you will not be wearing and you are perfectly okay to let them go from your reality. But then there are some clothes that you know you do not even like to look at them, but you also do not want to let go of them because of probably some attachment. And similarly, in our emotional life, there are things that we struggle to let go of because of attachment, because maybe they hold some sort of very strong memory. And basically, in this element, the clutter was asking me that whenever there is an attachment and whenever we find that there is a need to hold on to things, or whenever we find that it's very difficult to let something go, usually the attachment is because of some old memory, and the memory has a charge. That means an emotional charge to it, which can be let go of by processing the emotions that are present within in form of sensations in the body. Once we do that, we also understand the lesson that this memory that we were holding on to was actually trying to tell us. So when we process the unprocessed attachment and resolve the memory associated with it and release the emotions associated with it, it becomes really easy for us to let go of things. So before letting go, ask yourself, what's the lesson here? What's unfinished? And how can we honor the lesson and move ourselves out of the situation? And then releasing becomes really easy. And now I moved on to the next element that clutter was showing me. The clutter showed me that in the clutter, there is old that can be used as new, that can be renewed and repurposed probably, and can be transformed into something that can be used again. So basically, what it was trying to tell me that not everything needs to be thrown away. Some things in your life, you just need to see them from a fresh perspective. That's the magic of transformation. Maybe there's an old piece of furniture which you can reuse, but you need to just put a new polish onto it and it's going to look brand new. Or maybe there's a dream that you abandoned years ago, but you don't want to fully let go of it, which is perfectly fine in this situation because that dream is asking you to look at it from a fresh perspective and from the angle of new wisdom. So you can ask yourself, if you're resonating with this, what am I overlooking that can be renewed and realigned with my current life? And the third element that the clutter was trying to show me was that in this cluttered situation, there's always the new hiding. But since it's surrounded by so much, we're not just able to look at it. Our focus is divided, it's distributed amongst so much. So it's like, have you ever stared at a messy room and thought that, oh, I don't know what's in here and how do I start? Where do I look? What do I do about the situation? And only to finally realize that there was this precious little something lying in the cluttered room, which you've been looking for so long. And this happens only when we start sorting out things. And that's what happens in our life as well. We get so overwhelmed by the mess that we don't even see the beautiful opportunities around us and the gifts hidden in those opportunities that the universe is trying to give us. And the message that the clutter was trying to give me that once you see all the elements, once you start sorting and you see all the elements, you will see that what you need the most is already here. You just need to sort through the noise to really see it. Now, I want to guide you through a short embodiment practice to guide you through the clutter of your life that you might be currently facing. Maybe it's mental, it's emotional, or it's around in your environment. So you just can sit here or maybe find a quiet place, close your eyes, and bring your awareness to your breath. You don't need to change the breath. Just breathe as you're breathing. And then just gently feel in your body, where in your life are you feeling the presence of the clutter? Is it in your mind? Is it in your relationship? Is it in your environment? Wherever it is that you're feeling it, just notice. And then ask yourself, what am I avoiding looking at? Sometimes the messiest areas of your life are the ones that you're facing to fear something in them. But can you today hold a space for it? Can you let this awareness arise in your body and accept it as is? And now just imagine that whatever this is, imagine that it's your room that you're now taking responsibility to clean, but you will start with one small step. Maybe a small corner, maybe just a drawer, or maybe if it's in your emotional life, maybe you want to write about it. So you can imagine yourself picking up your journal and then expressing yourself. And then you can actually do, once we finish this process, you can do this exercise by expressing all your emotions one by one, taking one small bit at a time. Or maybe maybe it's something little serious and you want to start creating healthy boundaries around you because you want to fix the messy relationships in your life. Again, in the same way, you can start small. And just remember that the goal here is not to clean everything in one go, but to approach the whole process with intention and then taking small steps towards it. Just one small step to start sorting out your life and moving this way, and then the clarity will come. And then you can open your eyes. So I just want to repeat that if you're feeling overwhelmed because of your emotional life or your physical space or anything in your environment that's making you feel messy, cluttered, you don't have to rush anything. You don't have to throw everything away. You need to use your spidey senses to actually become aware of the stuff that you really want to let go of, the stuff that you can repurpose, and the stuff that's new and waiting for you to embrace it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Where do you feel cluttered in your life at the moment? And what small steps would you be taking today to start sorting it? Like, you can leave your comments or you can even contact me on my Instagram and message me and Align with Isha. Until next time, stay embodied, stay aware, and trust the process.